Operation Confidence proudly presents America's Invisible Heroes Talk Radio Show. Tune in weekly on Sundays from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time with your host, Consuelo Mackey. Co-host, Air Force veteran Matt Davidson. Announcers, Taylor Marcella and Brooke Gadesi. U.S. Army veteran and entertainment segment host, Charles Whitehead. U.S. Army veteran and strategies for host segment host, Dr. Kathy Cash. U.S. Army veteran and Lifeline for Women Veterans segment host, Martha Elena Varela. National Director of Faith Services, Chaplain, and Veterans in Recovery segment host, Anthony Akinfora. And U.S. Air Force veteran and Incarcerated to Success segment host, Kevin Lewandowski. For more information or to be a guest on our show, email info@operationconfidence.org.
Operation Confidence, America's invisible hero, invisible hero.
Operation Confidence is a grassroots nonprofit. The organization's mission is to provide stable housing for veterans who have experienced homelessness, as well as providing a wide range of supportive services. To help accomplish our goal, a successful landowner has donated land for the project, a world-renowned architect has offered to design the houses, and construction classes from the local community colleges will take part in building the houses. Your support and donations are needed. To get involved, please visit our website at www.operationconfidence.org or email info@operationconfidence.com.
Okay, well, welcome everyone, and thank you for tuning in to America's Invisible Heroes, the show that's dedicated to our veterans and their families. Yes, I'm your host, Consuelo Mackey, Executive Director of a grassroots nonprofit organization called Operation Confidence. No, I'm not a veteran, but my heart goes out to our American heroes, especially those that are homeless and those who are disabled and have experienced homelessness. Now, let's move right along. Today, we had, as a board member, we're going to have Taylor Marcella to present our co-host for today.
Today we have Army Reserve veteran Charles Whitehead, a board member and entertainment segment host. We have U.S. Army veteran Richard Cook and his monthly segment host, I Once Was Whole. We have Lauren Hammond with her monthly segment, Creative Charities Auction. We have Tanya Lewis and her monthly segment, Miracle of CMOS. And last but not least, we have Ann Montague and her monthly segment, The Rosie's Movement.
Okay, take it away, Charles.
Okay, we would like to tell our viewers and listeners about our board member, Taylor Marcella, who was diagnosed as a baby with osteogenesis imperfecta, a condition commonly known as brittle bones. This meant that her bones either didn't produce enough collagen or produced it in low quality and weak bones. Consequently, she relied on a wheelchair for mobility since she could not walk. However, Taylor refused to let her physical limitations hinder her from living a meaningful and fruitful life. Recognizing that there was much more to life than the confines of a wheelchair, she drew strength and inspiration from her supportive family and friends who demonstrated to her limitless possibilities beyond her condition. Their unwavering encouragement motivated her to develop resilience, strength, and independence. From an early age, Taylor's compassion for veterans grew, fueled partly by her family and uncle who had served in the Vietnam War. Witnessing his struggles upon returning from combat and the lack of support available to him, she resolved to make a difference in the lives of veterans and individuals with disabilities. Realizing that Taylor needed to build upon previous advocacy accomplishments, she dedicated her college years from 2008 to present to learn about a nonprofit organization called Operation Confidence, founded by Consuelo Mackey. Under Connie's mentorship, Taylor gained invaluable hands-on experience working with veterans with disabilities. Operation Confidence resonated deeply with her due to Connie's genuine commitment to serving others and her ability to identify and meet the unique needs of veterans. Through this network, numerous veterans have found employment, housing, excuse me, and consistent access to medical care. Eager to challenge herself and expand her advocacy horizons, Taylor made the decision to participate in the Miss Wheelchair California 2017 pageant. Triumphantly winning the title, she seized the opportunity to leverage her platform and raise awareness for veterans with disabilities, further bolstering her self-assurance. She is now a permanent judge and mentor for the contestants. Oh, really? Okay, now. With the unwavering support of Connie, her family, and friends, Taylor gained the confidence and belief in her abilities that she had previously lacked, both personally and professionally, and experienced remarkable growth. Presently, Taylor holds a position on an Air Force base where her responsibilities involve assisting families in crisis. Together with her team, she works diligently to offer preventive measures, supportive services, counseling, and educational programs. Taylor's ultimate aspiration is to become a licensed clinical social worker, specializing in behavioral health and treat active duty members on the installation she currently serves. Pursuing the objective, she is enrolled in a graduate program to attain a master's degree in social work. Reflecting on her journey, Taylor acknowledges the presence of a higher power. She firmly believes that God has guided her every step of the way, granting her strength during moments of solitude and filling her with a sense of purpose. Whenever she doubted her qualifications, Taylor found reassurance in knowing that God had bestowed upon her the necessary abilities. Eager to embrace the future, she eagerly awaits the path God has laid before her. Whoop, there it is.
Eddie, that's not baby girl. Yes, it is. Tuition you from baby girl. I'm so proud of you. It's just
Thank
amazing.
you. Thank you.
And of course, Connie just loves to just kind of, embarrass her.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said, you just love to embarrass her, don't you?
No, that's your mama, baby girl. Shoot, what you talking about?
All right, Taylor, it's on you now.
She's so phenomenal.
Baby girl.
Thank you.
That did mama, baby
Oh.
girl. Okay, so moving right along here, Taylor. You gonna introduce?
Come on, baby girl.
Yeah, you gonna introduce our next guest? Actually, she's one of our co-hosts.
Well, yes. Anne Montague of the Rosie's movement. Anne is a Rosie's daughter. Some of her first memories are about the home front war effort, saving Greece and taking it to the store to be used in the war effort. Their large victory garden, and her mother going to work in the mornings feeling well, but coming back dizzy from inspecting lenses at what they called the war factory. Rosies are the surviving women who worked on the home front for the war effort during World War II. We encourage people to find them, learn what they did then, and get Americans to work with them now, though they are above 90, to do projects that leave a lasting record of their legacy. Each Rosie is different, and each story has that human touch. And when you put their stories together about what they did during the war, their legacy is more than one story. Thus, their legacy is to do today what they did in World War II, which is to pull together to do the highest quality work to keep and use our freedom. Before we start, we would like to show you a video.
You muted, y'all.
So we're gonna show the video first.
Yeah, let Ann talk for a minute.
Yeah,
about
yeah,
the
yeah.
video.
Let me just introduce it, folks. I really appreciate the opportunity for sure. The film is really an hour long and it was essentially made for classrooms. However, what we're going to be doing at the invitation of Connie is show you 15 minutes of the film today. And then in 2 or 3 weeks, and we need to decide on the date, we will be showing the whole film. The important thing here is that when I came back to my home state of West Virginia, I really had only childhood memories of my mother. Very, I was born in 39, so I'm 84 now, and it was before I started to school that she was working in the factories or a factory. Now, the important thing that I want to impart here is that Rosie did all kinds of things. My mother was an inspector on lenses. The first 15 minutes will be pretty much focused on airplanes and women essentially doing the riveting. But as Connie alluded to a few minutes ago, the women did all kinds of things. So we don't say that we have now started the American Rosie the Riveter movement. We say it's the American Rosie movement for 2 reasons. Number one, the women did all kinds of things other than or in addition to riveting, but also it is a movement that is positive. In other words, it's Rosie. It's time that we started focusing on the positives of the human condition and the human abilities. So what you'll see here today is only 15 minutes. And I think you'll see enough to fall in love with the women and see that almost all these women are gone. As far as I can think right now, there's not a woman left who was the 31 in the film. 31 Rosies in the film, there's not one left. So you can see it's a bittersweet project. But the important thing is that there are still some Rosies living. And most important, what they want to do is leave their legacy of, as Taylor has said, pull together, do highest quality work, and do it in a spirit of cooperation, because we have the freedom to do that. And if we do nothing but blame one another, we're really wasting our freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So ready, set, go there, Charles.
And before you go into the film, I just want everyone to know that we've been honored to have some of the Rosies on. I mean, they were like 99 and 100 years old. Mm-hmm. The most articulate, funniest, well-educated, and can remember everything that happened back there.
They're outstanding people. I certainly can tell you that. I blessed myself.
A 100-year-old lady can tell you what happened when she was 20 and what they did, and and some of them had some of the most funniest humor,
Mm-hmm.
And they had a Rosie on. What was her background? A teacher or something, wasn't she?
Which one are you talking about? You're talking about the one that was British and she came to America?
Yeah.
That's the one that got me in trouble.
I don't remember that. You get in trouble with a lot of women.
No, they all love Charles. They want him to get wolf whistles.
I'm like, y'all getting me in trouble with the young generation.
I'm not sure which Rosie you're talking about, but
it was the most.
You will see in the film. You will fall in love with them, and you will never forget them.
Right. Thank
you. Now, can we post the video link in the chat room, and people can watch it in entirety on their own, or?
Well, are you going to do that?
I'm doing it right. I can do it right now before I even start the video.
Yeah. Okay. That's great.
Yeah, but you can also, we're going to finish seeing it in a couple of weeks, as soon as we get a schedule together.
Yeah.
So it's in the chat
part
room.
2. Okay. All right. So let's start, Charles.
Times like those, you learn to be strong. You sacrifice a higher call you belonged. Countless hours to protect our homes. I sing to you. This is Rose's song. Our best men sent to foreign soil. Our best women to help win the war. You worked at factories, no complaints, you grown. Resting here, this is Rose's song. There are many soldiers that did not return. Many hard lessons that we have learned, and many dear ladies who before us have gone. Let's give them praise in Rose's song. Lift up your voices, this is Rose's song.
That is so cool. Okay, we'll come back with part 2.
A bunch of us from that went to high school together, about 6, got in a car and 2 cars and drove out to LA and to work in the aircraft industry. And Adele Precision Instruments was about a block long, 1-story factory building right on the outskirts of Lockheed Aircraft, and they were building the big bombers, and they had 6 huge hangars. It was, it went at least a mile. So we were a very small factory, right, tucked into a huge aircraft factory, because they bought all of our hydraulic bodies. And hydraulic bodies on airplanes raise the landing gear and let it down, and on the bombers it opens the bomb bays and closes them. And then the ailerons on the wings, when you land, the ailerons go up like that. And on the tail portions of an aircraft go up and down as well. So these hydraulic bodies are put in there to close and open all of these various things. I was, I think, one of the first gals. On other shifts they had gals, but in the past they had not had women working that much in the factories. We were supplying England, of course, that had been at war for about 4 years before we got in. And we were supplying them with, they were buying aircraft from us. And we were not in a war at that time. You must realize that after December the 7th, after Pearl Harbor, the whole thing changed tremendously, of course. We were in a war then. We'd been attacked.
Japanese have attacked Pearl Harbor, Hawaii by air, President Roosevelt has just announced.
And the extras was on the street that Pearl Harbor had bombed. And it was, I had 4 brothers, and my fiance that was married, but I knew he was going to have to go in service. And there was a fear of come over you.
No matter how long it may take us to overcome this premeditated invasion, the American people in their righteous might will win through to absolute victory.
When Pearl Harbor got bombed, I was with my sister. She was married. I had stopped in her place. It was a Sunday. And that's when President Roosevelt came on her radio and told us, we have been attacked, and we are, well, and nobody could believe it, but it happened, and overnight, everything changed.
With confidence in our armed forces, with the unbounding determination of our people, we will gain the inevitable triumph, so help us God.
I remember that way. I heard on the radio. There was big snow on, a big snow. And it seemed like it was a hurtful thing, you know, them ships, and they tell all them people was killed, you know. I got the record of that here in the papers they sent me. And that seemed like it was hurtful.
The wartime almost now seems like a dream. Because when I think of some of the things that we did, I don't know whether we could repeat it today or not.
We are now in this war. We're all in it, all the way. Every single man, woman, and child is a partner in the most tremendous undertaking of our American history.
When Pearl Harbor was bombed, I was working in a little fountain in a coal mine, or a coal camp at Wyden, West Virginia. So when I got my payday with about $35 in my pocket, I started for Akron, Ohio. I had some friends there that I could stay with a little while till I got started, and one of them took me and helped me get in. I worked in the Goodyear aircraft, the B plant. We made Navy bombers. They were the Corsairs that they took on those planes that the wings would fold.
I guess it froze.
I think that was the 15 minutes, but anyway, you're all getting a flavor of it.
Okay.
And you can see how heartfelt these women are. You should.
All the day long, where the rain or shine, she's a part of the assembly line. She's making history, working for victory. Rosie, the riveter.
There was a notice in the paper, and they were looking for women to work in the defense plants. So we went and signed up, and before you know.
Okay, Charles.
That's good enough, Charles.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
We were in that.
I do just want to end saying that I feel like our work, we did that film from 2009 to 2011. So we premiered it in the spring of 2011. It took 18 months to go throughout this very, very rural state of West Virginia, up into the hills and all kinds of places you never expected to be, to get the video of these women. But even though all the women in the film were from West Virginia when we interviewed them, they worked all over the country. So one of the criticisms of the film is that it says it's only West Virginia women and it doesn't apply to the rest of the country. But it does apply, because these women worked everywhere, and some of the women were not even from West Virginia. They happened to marry somebody, or maybe they had a daughter who married somebody here in West Virginia and they moved in here. So I still defend the film, because I feel that it is still representative of unity. And the women say very clearly that they did pull together then. And that's what we learned to do again.
It's a beautiful, beautiful piece. So much history. And
Yeah.
we can't wait to, you and I get together when we're going to be able to show the rest of it.
Okay, you let me know and I'll do my best. I have to go to DC within a couple of weeks here.
Well, you let me know your dates so we can schedule on that.
I will when I find out.
Yeah, you feeling better though, right?
Well, somewhat. I keep
haven't
coughing,
been
so
sick.
I keep muting myself here because I'm coughing.
Okay.
Thanks
Well,
so much, folks.
Taylor, actually, Charles, Tanya's not coming on for some reason. You know,
Did you guys, there was a moment where I froze and it stopped me and then it started again, but the recordings kept going. So I don't know what happened, but it's still recording. So
Okay, well, we're going to do that, finish it for next time. But Tanya was in a car accident,
oh, really? Oh,
so she
all
can't
right.
come on today. But we're going to move right along here. We already got started a little late because of technical difficulties. So Taylor, can you introduce our next fabulous guest friend of mine, Mamie
Yes,
Nelson?
ma'am. Mamie Bullock Nelson, a new guest on the show and longtime friend of Connie. Mamie has an Associated of Arts degree in science and continued her education, graduating from Concord Career College as a licensed vocational nurse in 1995. She is the founder, CEO of Randall Family Community Services Program and director of Life Circles Group Home, executive director of San Fernando Valley NAACP, and proud mother of 4 children, 4 grandchildren, 1 son-in-law, and adopted 3 children as well as a grandson. Coming from a military family, her brother Tyrone Bullock and 5 other brothers were Army vets, as well as her daughter, grandfather, and uncles. Mammy's community servant. She is an instructor with the American Red Cross, layman CPR and first aid, professional CPR, AED Prada Wills Foundation Planning Committee, United We Serve, 9/11 Teen Mom, advocated for domestic violence victims. She's a CPAD West Valley Police Department, clergywoman, Toastmasters, LA School District for At-Risk Youth, AB for, can you hear me? Okay, District for At-Risk Youth, Regional Black Chamber, San Fernando Valley, bronze member, Businesswoman of the Year in 2014, a surrogate parent for LA Unified School District, hold education right for 14 children. She's a Tarzan team referral, Joel D. Rucker Leadership Planning. To get more information on Miss Mamie, you can contact her at 818-834-2463. So before Mammy's presentation, 818-834-2463. Connie, you sound far away.
Do I still sound far away?
Okay, better. So before Mammy's presentation, she wanted me to tell you all about Dr. Capri Cruz. She's a former foster child who, by the grace of God, survived a plethora of tragic life events that attempted to destroy her. At a very young age, U.S. Navy veteran Dr. Capri suffered identity-altering physical, mental, and sexual abuse in 2 attempts to end her life as a little child while in the foster care system. Her life tragedies continued to multiply as she later witnessed the harrowing death of her mother. She became a teenage runaway to get away from her abuser, unknowingly found herself a target for racism or for racists, and ultimately lost any sense of her identity. Running for her life, she ended up finding safety in her best friend's garage. Upon awakening the next morning, Capri had an acute spiritual awareness that everything in her life would change for the better. Now, Dr. Cruz is a retired U.S. Navy veteran, PhD, licensed mental health counselor, clinical hypnotherapist, transformational public speaker, and entrepreneur, founder of Fostering Hearts and Homes, which is a 501c, and the acclaimed author of From Foster Care to Fabulous. To receive guidance or support on a life experience, you can email Dr. Capri at drcapricruz@gmail.com. Again, that's Dr. drcapricruz@gmail.com, or you can get additional information from her website at www.capricruz.com. Again, www.capricruz.com. Take it away, Mamie.
On you, Mamie.
Hi, my name is Mamie Bullock Nelson. I was born in Alabama, but the story that you just read is so familiar to me. It's like it's almost part of my history. I was not a foster kid. I was an orphan at that time. They didn't say foster kid. I was abandoned by both parents, my mother and my father. But my great uncle got married, and they didn't have any children, so him and his wife chose to raise me. But my uncle, during that time, he was like working on the railroad where he stayed away a lot. And by him not being there in the house, and the mother that was raising me, she was not educated, and a lot of things she didn't see what was going on, or she didn't pay attention. And I got pregnant at an early age. My first pregnancy, I was 10. My next one, I was 12. And right now, my daughter is fully grown, and my son is fully grown. My daughter's in the political world. She's a politician. She ran for U.S. Senate here in Philly, and right now she's working on the campaign for one of the upcoming presidents. So God has been good to me. My life started out a little rough, but with God being on my side, me and my children, we made it through. And by the time I was 12, I had 2 kids and was married to my rapist, because I had to marry him because I didn't have nowhere else to go and nobody else to take care of me. So I had to end up marrying him. And that was not a good wedding, a good marriage. But my children grew up to be happy because I did move down south with them. So we was around a lot of my family that was in the Army, and they helped me with my kids. They helped me raise them. And by the time my daughter was getting ready to graduate from high school, I didn't have no money to send her off to college. So she had to learn how to get her scholarship. So she went into the Army. And she was in the Desert Storm. She was at the basic training. She was set in the Desert Storm. That she did her first journey there, which was very scary for me because she's the only girl I have, and the first time being away from home that long. But she made it a career. And my brothers, they did the same thing because they was raised up in South Central LA. And during that time, life was not pleasant for African-American men, because I think that's when the drugs were introduced into our city in the 70s there. And so they went into the Army and became career-oriented from being in the Army. My brother Tyrone, he passed on. He was a CPA. Then my brother Bernard, who passed on, he was a chef. My daughter, like I said, she has 2 master's degrees and she's a professor and author. She decided to write a book which was geared towards my life, raising them as a young mother. Wow. And it was a #1 seller on Amazon. And
you did a remarkable job, girlfriend.
It was God. It was God. Yeah. Consuela's my spiritual guide. I can go for months and months without talking to her, and something can hit me, and I call her. What did you see, girl? Did you see anything? Can you tell me something? Can you help me straighten this out?
Yeah, God bless me with that blessing.
Oh, yes. I can call her any time of day or night, and she got an answer for me and a prayer.
Thank you. That's so precious. But anyway, you turned your life around, your traumatic life, and you started your own foster home.
Yes. I always wanted to know what it felt like, because the lady that raised me did the best she could, I say. I don't blame her for nothing that happened to me. But I always wanted to know, how could someone love somebody that didn't belong to them? And how could someone not love someone that did belong? And so it was my life goal to raise other people's children. And for 17 years, I worked for the county of LA. And then I opened up my own that I had for 20 years. And it was a blessing. I was able to help a lot of children. I was able to find homes for some of the children. Connie adopted some of my kids and raised them and gave them a good home. And we had other people that she do in the community that helped us with the children. It became like a big circle of families helping me raise those kids. I said, out of my years of doing this, I know for a fact that we saved at least over 200 some children's lives that would have been detrimental if they hadn't walked into our lives, So I thank God for that. And a lot of them are successful and a lot of them is not, but most of them is still, you know, working towards getting some type of education, or they are in the Army. A lot of them went off into the Army, and some of them did go back to the streets. But, you know, it'll work itself out.
That's
And
so
when I met Connie, I was working. I had my own company, but my company was working me. And she taught me how to work my company, you know, showing me different things, taking me different places, showing me where I need to be at, when I need to be in these places. And by her doing all of that, I was able to be Businesswoman of the Year, which I never dreamed of. But with her guidance into the business world, I really became successful, you know, and I appreciate you for that, Connie.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, we had a lot of fun too, you know.
Yes, we did.
Had a chance to personally meet Nancy Pelosi and a lot of other high political figures out in the community.
Yeah.
But you know, it's been wonderful, and you've done so much for so many kids, and I'm so proud of you. And you got some more to come back and share with us. That you're going to be on the team now, right?
Yes, I would love to be a part of this. Yes.
You see, we just regular folks with a lot of information, you know.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you, though, girlfriend. And we got.
I'm proud of you. Look at you. You got your own show. I'm proud of you. Well, you always got your own, Connie.
Well, I had to do something to get the word out about our main purpose, and that's to get those houses for our veterans, you know.
Yes.
Get them off the streets. I mean, that just broke my heart when I seen them sleeping in wheelchairs on the street after they served our country. So that's been my mission God told me to do. But I'm so happy to have you on board, and I thank you so much for what you've done and what you're doing now. And you got a lot more to do, girlfriend. I want you to tell you about it.
Okay. All right then.
Hold up. Now, all of that. Wait a minute. I got a question. Hold up. Now, all of that was good, and you know everything y'all did. Now, you said we had a lot of fun. Were you in Vegas? No, right?
We ain't going no Vegas.
We ain't going no Vegas.
So tell us what you did. We want to hear this. You know, I'm proud now.
Charles is gonna rib you, girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, hey, you know, y'all go back. So we want to know a little something, just a tiny itty bitty.
I don't believe in gambling. It's work too hard.
No, I'm not included. I said if it was in Vegas, whatever was done in Vegas State, that's why I said this wasn't Vegas. So you know,
Charles, hush.
Everything we did was to help other people.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And you Charles is one of our headliners when we did the show at the sports arena. So hush. You were there. You had a very important role at that event, Mamie. So, and Charles was the one that got on TV and talked about the program. So we had a lot of. Okay, so we move right along, and you're gonna come back in a couple of weeks and share some more phenomenal information.
Well, I'm going to sign off because I have to go and do some work.
I understand you in a whole nother.
All right.
What time is it there?
6 o'clock.
Oh, okay, I know you got to go. All right, Precious. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Before you go, Mamie, next time you come, tell us a sweet story of something that a child did. I think that's get left out. You know, people talk about children's welfare and so many sad stories.
Yes,
what I find is that people who nurture children have the sweetest stories to tell.
Yes.
Be ready to tell us a sweet story.
Oh, she has a lot of them. Yeah. We first had to hear about what she's gone through, and now we're coming back to 2, 3, 4, and 12. Okay. All right. Thanks, ma'am. I know you have to go.
All right. Take care now.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Charles, would you introduce one of our co-hosts, Lauren Hammond?
Lauren, the Creative Charities Auction is her thing. Wait a minute. You guys hear me, right? Okay. So Creative Charities Auction founder, Lauren Hammond, she brings over 20 years of successful auction management experience. As a co-owner of Sportings and more, Lauren fell in love with the gratifying experience of helping nonprofits reach and exceed fundraising goals by providing an excellent mix of action items, auction items, I say. Some of them probably were action. Lauren and her team maintain long-standing relationship with high-profile nonprofit organizations that return year after year because of the high caliber of auction items, the exemplary and professional customer service, and most of all, the proven boost of fundraising dollars. You can rely on Lauren and her experienced team to make your next fundraising event a fundraising success. Happy belated birthday, U.S. Army veteran Richard Cook, who served 33 years in the Army Special Forces and military intelligence, is going to be here as part of Lauren's thingy, or her display. Richard is a former commissioner for the County of LA, spent 7 years with the VA West LA and hospital as the chief of payroll. Richard is an amazing artist who has capability to take pictures with the camera, then turn the photo into some form of beautiful art. He will now be able to show as well as have his pieces auctioned off thanks to Creative Charities Auction and Lauren. All righty. So.
Hey, take it away, Lauren.
Well, thank you. Yes, I provide items for silent, live, and online auctions. And we have sports, music, entertainment collectibles. We have art, jewelry, handbags, and lots of travel. People are very anxious to get away now, and we provide both local, domestic, and international travel. And we've got some really wonderful packages, and people can go and they pick out a package, and our items sell well. We gear it to whatever event we're doing. We do golf tournaments, galas, we do wine tastings, chocolate fest, beer fest, and really any kind of an event that someone is looking to have, we can help. And some of our items, Charles, if you can show a couple of our displays, and we have one we put of Richard's in last week, and if you can show those, it'll show some of the things that we have done. So we have a lot of different items, and we bring in some. There's some right in the middle next to the Ollie piece is Richard's.
Hold up, let me get another shot here.
And so that's what we do. And if anybody ever goes to our website, which is creativecharityauctions.com, and if they find an item that they'd like to purchase, they can let us know, and we'll send a charity a check for 25% of whatever they purchase. And that can be any time of the year. And so with the vets, it would be wonderful to send something to Operation Confidence. And you just let us know and we send it. There's something right of the Rosies right next to, right below Marilyn Monroe, and on those four on the bottom, right on the next one. And that's Frida Kahlo. There's one with the Rosies, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and Maya Angelou. And up there is Audrey Hepburn. And on the other side is Taylor Swift. And on the next photo, Taylor Swift's been a huge seller right now. We have both gold-plated records and sign pieces, and they usually both sell at every event we put them in. And here's some of our travel that is doing very well. And so we put travel into all of our events. And then here's some other displays. Magic is always a big seller. Kobe's a huge seller. Aretha Franklin. And so we put all of those, we like, and so we're constantly adding new items, maybe of the same people. So we do so many of the same events year after year. So we always like to bring in new ones, but there are still some that just tend to sell. So we will bring those as well. Prince is a great record. There's the signed Taylor Swift, and there's the Music Legends piece. And so we create different things. If there's someone who's coming to an event and they're a particular fan of an athlete or celebrity, or they're going to travel somewhere, if we know in advance, we can include it if we have enough time to include that particular item. If we'll look for it, or we can create it. We do like to create some of our items. And we also do fundraisers with the online auctions. We can do them all around the country. And then we would just ship items to the winning bidders. And there are some who would like to do an online auction prior to their live event. And we're more than happy to help with that. And so we'll do it however we want, however they'd like that. Some would like to do the online auction after their event for people who couldn't attend. So we'll work with them in making it the best for them. And we do our best to raise as much as possible for every event that we do. And so if you show some of, and this one right next to Audrey Hepburn is Richard's. Next to Audrey Hepburn, next to Natalie Wood, and between Natalie Wood and Muhammad Ali is Richard's piece. And
oh, right here.
Right there, that's Richard's, and we'll be having more of his on the site. We sell a lot of art, and so if you'd like to show some of Richard's artwork, that would be great.
Let's see here.
And then Richard, if you want to give any information about it, and what it's from, what inspired you. So.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to begin this way as well too. In the beginning, when the strokes happened, those 3 strokes in 2016, the doctors told me one of the strokes took my vision. You know how I felt because of that? I didn't feel bad about that. I was determined to positively be able to show I can still do art and photography even though I lost my vision. So the thing is, all the items right there are because of my loss of my vision, and I still was able to work them out and do it in some way that's going to be creative for photography as well, and also with various levels of artistic ability. So the thing is, I've taken the bad things about the stroke, losing my vision, and turned it into art. That's what I've done right there.
That's beautiful.
I was going to say, all the
plenty of
pieces
art
that we
right
put
there.
into the auctions will be framed as well. We will have them framed, and they'll be beautifully framed so that they're ready to hang right up on someone's wall.
Yeah, gorgeous. I've always been intrigued on how he's able to take a. Tell us how you do that, Richard.
Well, what happens, I look at what I want to photograph, and then later on, as I took the photo, I start wherever I'm at because I'm already at the location taking the photo. Then I start thinking about how I want to do it in regards to artistic adjustments. And that's what I turn into from those there. For example, let me go back to the one that's a gold rose. Can you find that one, please? Right there, the gold rose. That gold rose, I looked at it after I took it. It was actually a white rose. But I looked at it and say, how can I do this a little bit differently? So I turned it to gold.
That's beautiful.
So that's kind of what I do. Like the moons, the pictures, there's the moon right there. I have one that's next to it. That's a moon. I turned it kind of a bluish. Then there was the other one, turned it a little bit auburn, and I took the moon that way. But I look at them before I do it and see how I can still turn it around into some artistic form.
Well, you're doing a beautiful job. Very unique. And
yeah, so the advantage is anybody who does want to purchase those photos as they see it, it's from a blind veteran.
Mm-hmm.
Anne has a question for you, Lauren.
I'm sorry?
Anne has a question for you.
Oh, yes.
You're muted, Anne.
You're muted, Anne.
We can't hear you. She wants to know if are your fundraisers only in California?
No, well, we can do them out of state, and we can either do the online auctions out of state, and then we just ship the items to them. Or if somebody wants to add some of our items to their event, we've shipped to Vegas, we've shipped to Dallas, we've shipped to New York. We can do that as well. So we can work with them.
I still don't quite understand how you would do a fundraiser if you're not on location.
Well, what they would do is they may just want to have 5 or 10 items, and so we would just ship it to them.
Oh, I thought I was talking about you had said something of golf events and that sort of thing.
Oh, well, we can send it to, well, for those events that are here locally, we do them in Palm Springs, San Diego, Santa Barbara. We've done them in Northern California. We were just asked to possibly go to Vegas in September. So we can do that. If it's really out of state, and let's say New York, if they just want a few items or they just want to do an online auction, we will do that for them, or we'll ship those items to them and then they would handle it because that it's an event that they're having. And so they're just going to include some of our items into their event. And so they may just want a few pieces, and that's something we discuss and can ship it to them if they'd like.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So
I'll
how
give
do
you her contact information.
go ahead. How do
My
people get in touch with you?
the phone number is 818-840-1200. 818-840-1200. And our website is creativecharityauctions.com. creativecharityauctions.com. And again, if you are looking for gifts any time of the year, we would donate 25% to a charity of your choice, and we would love it to be Operation Confidence. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All right, we just move right along here. Okay, so I think we're winding down now since one of the guests was unable to come on. So Charles, what about your fun? Do you have anything you want to share with us as far as presentation, or you just want to go straight to your funny clips?
I'll just go straight to my funny clips. You know, I don't have anything to really, other than to tell you I'm a disaster, but I'm still doing what I do. And I shared earlier with Connie that I was walking my sister's dog. Walking. I use a wheelchair, so I was rolling the dog, and the first time I started walking her, first, she was a little wild, and I had a long leash, and I shortened it. I was kind of holding her by the harness, and what she would do was she would pull me around. She's not a big dog, but a medium-sized dog, and yeah, but she's not stronger than me. But anyway, because I always tell her that when she tried a little bone, we have tug of war. I said, get in the gym, you're not strong. So Tuesday we were rolling and just about made it home, and she saw a dog down the street because she's happy to get out. She can roam in and out of the house as much as she wants. She's very protective. She's one of those Louisiana plot hounds. And when she saw this little puppy out there, because she's like, she gets happy when we see puppies and dogs on their yard. She wants to stop, and I'm like, no, let's go. She, anyway. So
you live in a gated complex, is that, or just...
Yeah, exactly. And so she started going fast, and I don't want to let the leash go, and let her just run free, because you never know. Sometimes dogs have these funny things. Anyway, she did that, and she was hauling, and I was trying to control myself, and I just went out of control and crashed right in front of the guy with his dog. I mean, I literally hit like the little curb part to park in, and flew out of my chair like Superman. I was like,
oh God.
And so when immediately, I got, I just got up, and a couple of guys were driving by, and they were like, hey, you need some help? So I said, yeah, just help me back in my chair. I came home, and my hand was hurting a lot. And so I iced it for a while, and then I took some Aleve, and the next day was fine. But 3 hours after the accident, I went to get out of my chair, and my leg was crackling, and so I was like, uh-oh. And then I got lightheaded too, because I'm paraplegic. So my body was telling me something's wrong. And I've been down this road before because I've broken my femur 3 times now. Evil Knievel's got nothing on me. But anyway, so then I was feeling lightheaded. So I laid down, just leaned over for a while, for a few minutes, tried to get back up, and it was the same thing. So I called my sister. I said, you know what? I done broke my leg. And so there was no way I was going to try to get back in the chair and get in the car. So we just called 911. They came, picked me up, took me to the hospital that's local here, Pomona Valley. And sure enough, because it's a trauma center and I'm a Kaiser patient with that, so I was in there, in and out in 2.5 hours. They took x-rays. Sure enough, clean break close to the hip. And
Wow.
well, because I'm a spinal cord injury and it's below my injury, I don't have any pain. If I was a
Right.
walker and all that, I'd be screaming and I'd be hollering and I had to go into surgery, but it worked out. And so now, you know, the joke is on about me and the dog, doing what do you call it when
Hydroplane.
Sparta, we over there trying to go and defeat Sparta, the chariots of fire and all this. I get all of these little, everybody, wait a minute, no, tell me. Yeah, to me, it always happened to me. But anyways, now this funny clip. You guys,
Wait, before you go into the funny clip, I was sharing with Charles, I had something similar to happen to me, I guess about a month ago, and I stayed through the show the same day. I took Cozy, the dog, out, and when walking down a street called White Oak, there's a lot of gorgeous trees, but the sidewalk is a lot of them because of the roots are broken. So I'm thinking I'm okay, and then all of a sudden, although these little dogs were locked in the gate, Cozy want to leap forward and communicate. And when he did that, my foot got caught in one of those broken sidewalks, and there I went down. And I messed up my hip. Oh God, but luckily, when I went on the walk, I had brought a cane. I brought a cane in case there was going to be any troubles with anybody's dog. We was going to fight our way back to the house, right? With the cane. But lo and behold, I was happy that I had that cane, because that was the only way that I could get home. And it was excruciating. And it took about a couple of months for that to go away. But luckily nothing was broken like Charles, but it was a lot of pain.
Mine was, I always break. I was playing wheelchair football in Santa Barbara up at the beach. 1 year, we had a tournament every year. I broke my leg up there. I broke my leg sitting on it. Matter of fact, when me and my mother went to the Price is Right, my leg was propped in. So now I got to make me a new kickstand to keep my leg up, because I'm not going to be stuck at home every day. People are like, man, you don't need to drive. I'm like, what? And the brake is up close to my hip, not with the knee. So, it's like, I got all these, I've been through this. I'm a veteran of broken femurs now.
That's right.
How many people can say they've done it 3 times,
Wow, Richard has a question.
Yeah, no, it's not a question, but something very similar. Just about a week and a half ago, I did the summer sports clinic, got done with that, no problems. And a few days later, after I returned, I ended up having gout. So that's very painful, because it was only in my right side of painful. But the thing is, I had to use crutches so I could put my foot down, because it was in my foot on my right side. But the thing is, I found ways to have the gout get relieved. So now it's back to normal. But that's my short story of that.
Wow, we all kind of got to watch this, can't be breaking nothing or injuring anything. We got things to do. Head on into you.
You got to enjoy life, though.
That's right. It didn't stop us. I still was doing this show, and my hip was killing me. But anyway, we're gonna start closing down, Charles. You got something to share?
Yeah. This is about a dog that wants food. You may have seen this one, but I just figured it would be a good one today. So here we go.
This is how he ends the show. Oh, look at that face.
Food. I just couldn't stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I went to the fridge and I opened up the meat drawer. You know what the meat drawer is, right?
Yeah. What was in there?
Well, I'll tell you what was in there. You know that bacon that's like maple? It's got maple flavor.
The maple kind, yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah.
I took that out and I thought,
yeah,
I know who would like that. Me. So I ate it.
Oh, no. You're kidding me.
Nope. Not kidding. I also noticed there was some beef in there. Yeah, steak, juicy. Well, I ate that too. But I went back to the fridge just a few minutes ago. And I put something together really special. You're gonna love this one. I took some chicken.
Yeah.
I put some some cheese on it. And I covered it with
what?
I covered it with cat treats.
Yeah.
Then guess what?
What?
I gave it to the cat. Hit.
That's so funny. Only you would come up. Funny characters. That's so funny. Okay, Taylor, take us on out, girlfriend. At least I said
Before-
girlfriend instead of me, mama, baby.
Baby girl, you know.
Before we close the show, we would like to encourage our viewers and listeners to visit the Operation Confidence resource page on our website for some amazing resources. We would like to inform everyone about Operation Confidence Positive Redirection Team. It's a group of male and female veterans who are mentors, having overcome similar challenges and situations, transitioning back into mainstream society. To be connected or become a team member, email us at info@operationconfidence.org. Again, info@operationconfidence.org. And as
I'll
always,
take it from here.
Okay, cool. Wait a minute.
And as always, we want to remind our viewers and our listeners that our goal for the show is to raise awareness about Operation Confidence and its mission, which is to provide stable housing for our veterans with a wide range of supportive services. So to get involved with our grassroots efforts, please send us an email at info@operationconfidence.org. That's info@operationconfidence.org. And don't forget to subscribe to our American Invisible Heroes on YouTube. As of today, we have 135,000 views. So we're moving right along here. We won't be long till we get to that 1 million mark, but we're moving right along. And also, we need your support to give a donation towards our teeny house building fund. We sure would appreciate that. And you also can do that by visiting our website, operationconfidence.org. That's www.operationconfidence.org. And in closing, we would like everyone to know that American Invisible Heroes is also streaming on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, Amazon, iHeart, Switch, our own Instagram, Twitch, and Operation Confidence Google blog. So we're moving right along here, getting the word out. And I want to thank everyone for coming on, our amazing hosts and guests and co-hosts and guests. And we'll be back next week. And we want to thank you all again. Have a great, great week. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
All right. I'm gonna play
Bye
this
now.
video.
Good night, everybody.
All right, I'm gonna play the video and we're gonna see y'all next week.
That's right.
Operation Confidence, America's invisible hero, invisible hero.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.